lost $500,000 in crypto in just a few weeks.
I've lost millions, bro.
Accidentally threw away his $950 million worth of Bitcoin.
We're gonna be looking at some insane crypto losses.
What have you failed at?
Well, one thing I publicly failed at is crypto. Yeah.
Really?
I've lost millions, bro. Millions.
You're in good
fam.
company, my
No,
friend.
for real.
We might be together on this, but I still have faith.
I put 2.5 plus million
God damn.
in Luna.
Oh.
And it was at $30.
Oh.
It was going down. I was like, I'm buying the dip, motherfucker. So I just put all my money in that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
it went down to 0.00001. My 2.5 million,
can I say something?
it's worth 10p. And best believe, when I get my money up, I'm back in, brother. I'm back in. I'm back in, bro.
Yo, that is ridiculous, bro. Is that real? 2.5 mil to zero? Did that entire crypto just tank? I don't know too much about the crypto Luna. Did that just get completely rug pulled and he lost everything? I mean, that is insane. Now, luckily, KSI, he'll be fine. You know, he's a big baller. He's one of the greatest of all time YouTubers, but dude, that is ridiculous, bro. Like, that is a life savings of a fairly successful life just gone like that. Now, here's how Mr. Beast almost lost millions in crypto.
Someone broke in and stole all my clothes. He also took my Bitcoin at the time too, but he was an idiot. So I had a laptop like this. Right here was just written my private key. I don't know. I just said Bitcoin private key, and it's like, and I go in there, I can't find my laptop, and then I just run over to my desktop, which they didn't steal. I pull my private key up there, and I'm like crying. I'm like, it's not gonna be there. There was like $2 million, which was every dollar to my name at that point. I like took like a couple, like $100,000 one month, put in Bitcoin. Bitcoin like skyrocketed. And I was literally just about to sell it and fund a bunch of videos. And I'm like crying as I'm loading it up, and my heart is pounding. I'm like, please, it's there. It's all there. And I moved it real quick, and like that robber's moron.
Man, thank goodness, bro. Like, that robber wasn't technically advanced. He was just probably some low IQ teenager or something, broke into Mr. Beast's house. Oh, I got a computer, I got an iPhone, this is so cool. And he didn't have like the computational power to get the Bitcoin. But that's insane, bro. So he had 100K life savings. It went to $2 million. He was about to sell. That is scary, bro. Having 2 mil in a wallet with the code like on your laptop, right? So if someone has that laptop, they can literally just wipe you clean of the crypto, and you're not really going to have a realistic way of recovering it because it's a deregulated currency. So thank goodness he was able to recover his crypto, unlike this poor gentleman.
Remember the UK man whose girlfriend accidentally threw away his $950 million worth of Bitcoin? Well, after 12 years, he's finally giving up the trash hunt. Software engineer James Howells lost a hard drive containing 8,000 Bitcoin back in 2013. At the time, it was worth around $63 million. He spent more than a decade trying to convince his city to let him search the local landfill, even offering up to $30 million. But Newport City Council repeatedly said no, citing environmental concerns. Now, Howells says he's done asking permission and is trying something new, tokenizing his claim. He plans to turn the lost Bitcoin into 800 billion tokens. So in theory, people could invest in a piece of that lost fortune.
So that's insane all around. So allegedly his girlfriend threw it out? How does that work? I mean, isn't that a bit of a stereotype where the wife just cleans out all the guy's valuables? Oh, this is all garbage, and throws it out. It's like, oh shoot, no, that was valuable. So his valuable was worth $950 million freaking dollars. I don't know why the council would keep him from trash unless there's like hazardous waste in there. But at that point, it could be like, yo, if I find this, I'll give you like 50 mil. Won't they let him go on a treasure hunt? So yeah, I don't really know how this fractionalized thing works. Is it kind of like a treasure hunt? Like, don't some people, they invest in a treasure hunting team, right? So, okay, I'll buy like 10% of the treasure if you go out and find this long lost treasure. Is that kind of how it works? Like, okay, fund me, and if I recover this hard drive, you get your money back? Is that how that works? Because otherwise, I don't really see how there's literally any value in that. But here's more information on his situation.
Well guys, after 12 full years, this dude who lost his Bitcoin hard drive with over $900 million on it has finally given up searching for it. He originally got this hard drive in 2013 when one Bitcoin was worth around $50 to $200 and threw it out just thinking it was a blank drive sitting around. Now as the value of Bitcoin rose over time, he realized that he threw the wrong hard drive out and that this one had loads of money on it. This is the value of Bitcoin now, and since then he's been begging his city to let him search the local landfill for it,
it.
but the city declined. Honestly, considering how long it has been, that hard drive is most definitely long gone. And it kind of sucks because now for the rest of his life, as Bitcoin continues to rise, he's just gonna keep thinking about how much money he could have been worth.
Okay, so this short is saying that he threw out himself, like he wanted to throw out a hard drive, but he accidentally threw out his Bitcoin hard drive with $60 million. I find that hard to believe, bro. How do you, oh, whoopsie daisy. Oh yeah, so it says my Bitcoin, which is still worth a ton at the time he threw it out. It's worth like insane amounts of money now, but still, bro, how do you, oh man, he gotta be beating himself up over it. That's like the story of the guy, I think he bought a pizza with Bitcoin like way back in the day, and that Bitcoin would have been worth millions of dollars for that one single pizza. So a lot of insane stories like that, because crypto, it's just insane, and it just goes up and down. The hype shows up, and like little coins just go to the moon, and that's what happened to this Dogecoin millionaire.
Dogecoin millionaire. We did a 1-hour podcast, and the second half of that podcast was just trying to convince him to sell. This is someone who's making 50 grand a year, and he sold everything he had, maxed out his credit cards, and put 150 or 200 grand in Dogecoin. And at the peak, it was worth $3 million.
Yeah.
And we broke it down. I'm like, dude, you will never have to work a day in your life after tax. Invest it in here. You can pull 3% of it out every single year. That's your salary. You've made your salary for life. If you just sell right now, why take the risk? And so, he didn't sell.
Hey man, he's in it for the love of the game, dude. He ain't even here for money. He just wants to own a bunch of Doge, it sounds like. But that's insane. He turned like 150 to 200K into $3 million, but then it went down again. And you know, I lost about $1,000 in Dogecoin way back in the day. I think I bought it at like 33 cents and it just plummeted down to 10 cents. It's like, what am I doing with my life? So I stay far away from all cryptos. Now I learned my lesson. I was thinking, oh, Doge to $1, but of course it didn't go to $1. I don't even think that's mathematically possible unless like the whole world just flooded it with money. Here's a graph of Dogecoin over the past 5 years. We had this big blow up in 2021. That I assume is when he got rich. I think I probably bought around here in 21, and then I probably sold like around here in the dip. You know, I said, you know, enough of this. So I mean, right now it's at about 10 cents, but I don't really see it reaching its initial height. And here's more on the dangers of crypto.
You make a great point. There's a lot of things in our lives that we subconsciously make idols in our lives, where we spend so much time in it, around it, that it takes over our brain. And so when crypto came about, my major issue with crypto was not that you're going to lose a bunch of money. That's a possibility. My issue with crypto was that it was 24/7, and you can just see on your app it volatility all day long. And there was so many, there was new coins, there was community groups all about it, and you could just have it consume your life. And that's why I joke that crypto is just, you know, Mary Kay for young men. Because there was this obsessive nature, just like there is with multi-level marketing, where people were just, it took over their life. It became a personality trait. And that's where I go, let's draw a line here. It's great to enjoy something. It's not great to be consumed by it. That turns into an addiction.
Absolute facts from George Kamel. I mean, that crypto stuff kind of becomes like a gambling addiction. Oh, new coins all the day. This one's shooting to the moon. That one's shooting to the moon. And people like just dedicate so much of their time to it. And by and large, they're not making money. At least I know with stock investors, I think only 1% of individual investors outgain the S&P 500. So if you just left your money in the S&P 500, you are ratioing 99% of the people who are sweating charts all day long. So that's overall what I try to do. I mean, I probably check the S&P 500 almost every day, but you want to stay away from it because the best strat in investing, unless you're like really intelligent, really dedicated, and have great mathematical insights, you literally just want to leave your investment and then just come back to it like 10 years later and it should have grown without you touching it. So this crypto stuff just consumes people's life. Like, who buys a crypto coin and just leaves it for like 10 years? That is extraordinarily rare in the crypto market. They are checking it every single day. They're trying to rug pull this person. They're trying to get out of that investment. Now, this investment of theirs went in the toilet. Like, it literally can consume people's lives, which I believe happened to this gentleman.
I logged Bitcoin at 30.5K. I thought that the bull market was back. I thought the bear market was over. So I took my whole portfolio and I went all in on 10x leverage.
Well, that's fantastic. A really smart decision, young man. And it's gone.
Yeah. So I only have a base understanding of leverage. I think AI can explain it a little better than me. It says 10x leverage in trading means that you control a position 10 times larger than your actual deposit. So it amplifies the wins and the losses. So basically, if the market drops 10% and you are 10x leverage, you lose 100% of your money. So Bitcoin fluctuates insanely already, and you just have that on steroids, man. That is a great way to go completely broke. And here's another YouTuber who lost a ton in crypto.
What about you guys? You got any?
I did. I had like a decent amount in it, and I realized I knew nothing. And then Calix was like, okay, look, if you want to be safe, take it out. I took it out, so I'd made money. Next day, I'm sat in the car with JJ, and he's like, bro, Bitcoin?
The angel on the devil. Yeah.
Calix and KSI. He's like, it's about to blow. And I'm like, all right, look, I'll put, I made, say I had 100% my profit, whatever. I put half of that into each of them. Immediately started falling. I lost half of each. Took it out, and I went, never need to touch it again.
Yeah, that's how it goes, man. It's that peer pressure. It's that hype. This is KSI's friend. Oh, man, invest, man. You can make so much money, right? Like, he got out. He was doing well. He put some money back in and lost 50% of that, man. It's just ridiculous, bro. I'm staying away from crypto. Maybe if I'm an insane baller, I might buy a Bitcoin or two for the fun of it. I just don't trust it, man. I don't want to just see, half my investment's gone. Like, you get a Great Depression level of market collapse like every single year, bro. I'm not trying to deal with that. In similar fashion, here's how Alex Hormozi lost $500,000.
I lost $500,000 in crypto in just a few weeks, and hopefully I'll help you avoid not doing it yourself. So it had been going like this. And then right here, Bitcoin was at $60,000. I called my buddy up and I was like, hey man, I'm gonna get in on this. And he was like, I'll put $1 million in if you do. And I was like, fine. So we put $1 million in and then lost 500 grand in a matter of weeks. One, when everyone thinks something is a good idea, it's usually a bad idea. Basically, by the time you're really, really certain about the opportunity has already closed. Whenever you feel that FOMO, pause. The second thing, Warren Buffett and Charlie Munger talk about your sphere of competence. For me, business is very much within that. Now, outside of this is probably real estate and crypto, a bunch of other things other people do and have spent lots of time developing their skill set. Those people should do those things. I have no idea. I have just noticed the further away I get from my core, the more money I lose.
That is both great advice, because so much of crypto is literally a Ponzi scheme. It's all hype based, right? And as soon as the hype is at its peak, everyone's talking about it. Everyone got diamond hands. This crypto is going to the moon. That's when it collapses. So the people who make money are the people when the crypto is not hyped up. They buy early, they hype it up to all their friends, it goes to the moon, and then they just rug pull it. And then you also gave great secondary advice. Like, you should do what you're good at, what you have expertise in, what you're knowledgeable about, what you're passionate about is probably where you're going to make the most amount of money versus you try things because you're on that hype train. You kind of get shiny object syndrome. Oh, these people are making money in crypto. I have no understanding of it, but let me go dump a bunch of money into it and then I lose 2.5 mil like KSI, man. It's not going to go well. You don't want to end up like this crazy anecdote.
He's made like $4 million, $5 million. 2022 to even probably now, he's blown it all plus more because he didn't have a strategy. All he did was buy long Tesla calls, buy long Amazon calls, made tons of money on it. And when it didn't work, he kept doubling down. And I was like, that's not really a strategy. You're just riding out a wave. When that wave pulls back, you have to be able to take a step back and let the wave settle before you start burning more capital.
So not a ton of specific information in that, but I like the overall message because a lot of people, they do that high risk, high reward. They do a high risk trade, they get that high reward and they say, oh, well, that got me a high reward. Let me high risk again. Well, high risk also means there's a high risk involved and you can lose all of your money. So that's a lot of people. They print a bunch of money on one of these garbage coins. They decide to try and replicate that process when the foundation of that process was a pure Ponzi scheme. It was just straight up a pure rug pull Ponzi scheme situation. There's no like foundation of industry, of talent, of providing a product to the people. It is just straight up market manipulation that got you rich. So you tried a second market manipulation and ended up with losses. And here's another example of insane risk.
Like today, the high leverage trader James Nguyen just got liquidated for around $100 million. You see him, this guy's gone viral because massive positions on Bitcoin like this, a 40x leverage Bitcoin. Look at his mark, entry, and then liquidation price at 106. Last few days, he's been arguing about how corrupt the markets are. Well, yeah, no duh. This is what hedge funds do. They look at someone else's position, and they say, how can we liquidate that guy? And they start putting pressure. And look at this. Bang, liquidated and back up above his liquidation spot. It's usually better to be an investor, not a trader.
I think someone who's dedicated to investing would have a better understanding of the numbers than me, but we just went over 10x leverage. So this dude had 40x leverage. That is 4 times the 10x leverage. So if that market dips a little bit, it goes in the direction that he doesn't want. He's about to get destroyed. I wonder, is that a real headline? $100 million just disappears like that? That reminds me of the GameStop short squeeze. Like a hedge fund bet against GameStop. They had all their money riding on the fact that GameStop would go to zero. A bunch of people saw that and said, oh, let's just buy GameStop. GameStop is lit. Let's make it a meme stock. So GameStop went to the moon and certain market apps literally shut down, bro. Like it was so rigged, actually. That whole GameStop squeeze, if y'all remember that. So many people bought GameStop. The stock was going to go to the moon. The hedge fund that bet against GameStop was like, oh shoot, we need a GameStop to go to zero. We're about to lose a ton of money. They were about to go to zero. And then all of these apps and all these investment firms literally shut down trading that day. Like, so illegal. That has to be illegal. I don't know that they face any repercussions for that though. Now here's how this man lost 1.7 million.
This is the story of how I lost $1.7 million in a week, and this only happened a few months ago, so it's still a little bit raw for me, but I want to talk about it because I think anyone watching this podcast will find value from it. So basically, there was a meme coin. It was called Lucky. It was, in my opinion, a great narrative, had a really good story behind it, and had rapidly growing mindshare. I decided to put around $200,000 into this coin, and over a matter of weeks, that investment grew from around $200,000 to about $1.7 million. I wasn't thinking about taking profits. If I was in my right mind and acting rationally like I usually do in crypto, I would have been laddering out, you know? Instead, I ran up 200K to 1.7 mil, didn't take a single cent of profits because I was convinced I was going to make $10 million on this trade. What happened? That 1.7 went to 1.1. Then there was an exploit on the chain, which took it down to 400 or 500K. And then it eventually kept bleeding out when the market turned. And I ended up not taking a single dollar of profits from a $1.7 million trade.
But that's the thing about meme coins. 200K goes to 1.7 mil. Everyone rug pulls it, and then it just drops in the toilet. Like, let me look at that story. Maybe there's more. Is that the story? Is this meme the story? Buy Lucky Coin, buy Lucky Coin, buy Lucky Coin. You just got lucky. That's the story. This is what meme coins have come to. And here's a great cartoon that explains the rug pull.
There is a common crypto scam where some monkeys promote their new cryptocurrency to a lot of unsuspecting monkeys. Monkeys get excited, like really excited. Monkeys invest in crypto. Crypto price goes up, then monkey sells most of the crypto. Crypto price goes down, leaving all other monkeys with no money and crypto that is close to worthless. This is called a rug pull.
Yeah, that's exactly how it goes. That parrots his example perfectly. Like, somebody comes up with a stupid meme coin like Lucky Coin. Oh my goodness, look at this Lucky Coin. You want to buy. All these people throw their money into it to buy it. So probably a group of people at the top of Lucky Coin, when it was at that 1.7 mil in his wallet, sold all their shares, taking his darn investment. Now here's a good lesson on how not to invest in Bitcoin.
I bought 3 Bitcoins. In 2021, they hit $60,000, and I sat down with a friend who was all in on Bitcoin. He said by 2025, it'll be $500,000 a coin, and by 2030, it'll be $1 million a coin. And so he was like, you are doing your kids a disservice if you don't buy each of them a coin. We have 3 kids, and so I went and bought each one of them. Then literally over the next 6 months, it dropped down to under 20. And so then I ended up selling it about 30.
You're
one of them. Yeah.
I had a similar thing with Doge, not on such a large scale, but I mean, Doge didn't recover to what I bought it for even till this day. So I would have made money. But yeah, that's that ridiculous part of crypto, man. People buy high and sell low, man. That is not the optimal strategy. I don't think buying Bitcoin and holding on to it for 20 years for your kids is a terrible idea, but man, sell it at the dip, bro. Come on, dude. So personally, I'm staying out of crypto, but y'all do you. And click here to see lottery winners losing a ton of money. Now you have reached to the end.